I didn't expect the house to feel alive, but the moment I stepped onto the grounds of Myrtles Plantation, I felt it. Not fear, not yet, just the strange sense that I wasn't alone. Even in broad daylight, the trees stood too still. The air felt heavier than it should, and the house, it didn't just sit there, it watched, tall with columns, a long wooden porch stretching across the front, windows like dark, silent eyes. I had heard the stories before coming here. They say it's one of the most haunted places in Louisiana. Voices in empty rooms, footsteps when no one is there, mirrors that show things that aren't standing behind you. I didn't believe most of it, not really, but as I walked up the steps, the wood creaked beneath my feet, loud enough to echo, like the house noticed me. Inside, everything felt preserved, old furniture, portraits staring from the walls, a silence that wasn't peaceful, but expectant. I was told about her, a woman, a presence, someone who never left. They called her Chloe, a name tied to whispers, tragedy, and something much darker. I moved slowly through the hallway, my fingers brushing lightly against the wall. The air grew colder the deeper I went. Then I saw it, a mirror, old, tall, covered with age. I paused in front of it. At first, it was just my reflection, tired eyes, still shoulders, nothing unusual. Then, something moved, not in the room, but in the reflection behind me. I turned instantly, nothing there, empty hallway, silent. But when I looked back at the mirror, I wasn't alone anymore. There was a figure standing just behind my shoulder, still watching. And in that moment, I realized something I hadn't before. Some places don't just hold history, they remember. I didn't step away, I couldn't. Something about that reflection held me there. The figure behind me didn't move, didn't breathe, just stood, watching. I told myself it was a trick of the light, a shadow, my imagination catching up with the stories I had heard. So I turned again, slowly, carefully. The hallway behind me was empty. No footsteps, no sound, no one there, but the feeling was still there, closer now, like someone standing just inches behind me. I hesitated, then looked back at the mirror, and this time she was clearer, a woman, faint but defined, wearing an old dress, her face partially hidden, but her eyes fixed on me, unblinking. I froze. Every instinct told me to move, but I didn't because she wasn't just standing there anymore. She was getting closer, not in the room, but in the reflection, step by step, without a sound. The distance between us shrinking. I could feel the cold spreading across my skin. Then, a whisper, soft, right beside my ear. Not from the mirror, from behind me. You saw me. My breath caught. I didn't turn this time. I couldn't because I knew if I looked away from the mirror, I might see her standing there for real. The reflection shifted again. Her face lifted slightly, and for a brief moment, I saw it clearly. Not anger, not rage. Something deeper, something wrong. Like a story that had been twisted over time. A truth buried under fear. I remembered what they said about Myrtles Plantation, about Chloe. Some claimed she was a servant, others said she poisoned the family. Some said she was hanged, but no one agreed on the truth. And standing there, I realized something unsettling. Maybe the stories weren't wrong, maybe they were incomplete. The whisper came again, closer, He lied. A chill ran through me because that didn't sound like a warning, it sounded like a confession. The mirror flickered slightly, and for a second, the room behind me in the reflection wasn't the same. The walls looked older, darker, like I was seeing the house as it once was, and she wasn't alone anymore. There were others, faint shapes, still watching, waiting. Then everything snapped back. The present returned. The mirror showed only me again, alone. But the cold didn't leave, and neither did the feeling, because deep down, I knew something had changed. I didn't just see her. She knew I saw her. I should have left. The moment the mirror went still, I should have walked out of the Myrtles Plantation and never looked back, but I didn't because something in that whisper, he lied, it stayed with me. It didn't sound like anger, it sounded like correction, like something that had been misunderstood for too long. So instead of leaving, I followed the hallway deeper into the house. Each step felt heavier, the air colder, the silence thicker, until I reached a room at the far end. The door was slightly open, just enough to see darkness inside. I pushed it slowly. The hinges creaked, loud in the stillness. Inside, the temperature dropped instantly, colder than anywhere else. This wasn't just a room, it felt like a memory, frozen in place. I stepped in, and the door behind me closed on its own, soft but final. I turned quickly, but before I could reach it, I saw her again, not in a mirror this time, not a reflection. She was standing in the room between me and the door, clearer than before, still pale, still quiet, but real. Her eyes met mine, and this time she spoke with a whisper. They told it wrong. The words hung in the air, heavy, unavoidable. I didn't move, didn't speak, I just listened. They said I poisoned them. Her voice didn't break, didn't shake. It stayed steady, like she had repeated this truth for years. But I didn't. The room shifted slightly, not physically, but like something unseen was pressing in. They needed a story. A chill ran through me because now it made sense. The conflicting stories, the rumors, the blame, all of it. Convenient. I took a slow breath. Then what happened? I asked. For the first time, her expression changed, not into anger, not into sadness, but into something far more unsettling. Resignation. They were already dying, she said quietly. The air grew heavier, and I became the answer. My heart sank because I understood what she meant. A house full of tragedy needed someone to carry it, and she was chosen. Right or wrong, truth or lie, it didn't matter anymore. The story had already been written. I glanced toward the door behind her, still closed, still silent. When I looked back, she was closer, just a step away now, close enough to feel the cold radiating from her. They remembered the story, she said, her voice softer now. But the house? She paused, her eyes locking into mine. Remembers the truth. The room went completely still, no sound, no movement, just that presence. Then, the door behind her slowly opened, without a touch, without a sound, an invitation or a release. I didn't wait. I stepped past her, feeling the cold brush against me, and walked out into the hallway. I didn't look back. I didn't stop until I was outside, breathing real air again. But even now, I think about that house, about Myrtles Plantation, about the stories people tell and the ones they don't. Because some places don't just hold ghosts, they hold versions of the truth, and sometimes the one that stays isn't the one we believe.